Good morning.
Morning.
I have a warm up on the screen you guys can try before we go over it and share our shirts for today. Good morning. You can try that warm up while we're waiting for everyone to get here. And you can send me the answers when you have them. All right, so good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I have this on a document too, so you could do it on that if you want. Let me find it. Here it is. So the warm-up's on here as well as some example problems. Okay, send me your answers when you have them, and you can send them for the different parts at a time. You can send me part A to make sure you have that first. You know, that's totally fine. Nobody has an answer to any part yet, not even part A. If you have a question or you are struggling, just let me know. All right, so I've gotten some answers from a couple of you, which is awesome. Others of you I haven't heard from yet, so make sure you're asking me a question if you have it. All right, so some of you are working, keep working away. The reason you're only seeing the top of my head is because I wanted to share my shirt. Yeah, Danessa, I'm sorry you're having issues with your internet today. That's annoying. So I'll show you my shirt and then you can guess why I'm wearing it. Okay, I think you'll figure it out. Yeah, Matt knows why. Anyone else know why I would wear this shirt today? Yeah, a few of you know why. By the way, why would this shirt be made? I don't know. A Hawaiian stormtrooper helmet? I don't know. I don't really know. But the better question is, why do I own it? Is probably the better question, right? Yeah, may the force be with you. Does any beach troopers? Thank you, Matt. Does anybody else have a shirt they want to share while we're finishing up this warm-up problem? Is anyone a Star Wars fan besides me? Brady is. Matt is. Zach is. Yay! I had people in my last class that were like, Star Wars. No, don't watch that. And I was like, oh, that hurts. Yeah, I'll watch them all. I'll watch them today if I want. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't have time to watch them today. I would have to stay up very late. So, Okay, anyone else have a shirt they want to share? Look at Zach putting all the answers to me. Thanks, Zach. Good job. They're all right. Let's talk about part D. Part D is the only part. I think some of us stay up too late every night, right? It's probably a fact. Okay, so let's talk about this. Does everybody understand what the question part A says when it says, how much is the loan going to be? Because a lot of you were like, I don't know, do I need TVM for this? Do I need a formula for this? Well, you want to buy a house that costs $225,000, but you're going to put 10% as a down payment. Okay, and then you're going to take out a loan for the rest, and you're going to get a 4% loan. So the first thing you have to do is find the down payment. So you have to take 10% of $225,000. But so some of you wrote that the answer to this one was $22,500. That's not the answer to part A. That's your down payment. The answer to part A would be $225,000 minus that down payment. So your loan amount is going to be $202,500. Does everybody understand where I got that from? Any questions on that? Okay. Then you can use your TVM solver or your formula to find your monthly payment. Then notice now we were comparing a 30-year loan and a 15-year loan. Okay, this is a great thing to compare if you're going to buy a house. So if you take a look, our 30-year loan would be $966.77 as a payment. Our 15-year loan, some people might think that the 15-year loan payment would be twice as much since it's half the time, but notice it's not, right? Your monthly payment on a 15-year loan is only $1,497.87. Okay, so it might be worthwhile to look at that 15-year loan, especially when we look at part D, where we compare how much we're paying in interest. Look, on a 30-year loan, you're paying $145,000 in interest. And a 15-year loan, you're only paying $67,000. Now, $67,000 is still a lot, right? The interest is compounded monthly. It's the same as your payment. So the interest is compounded monthly. All right. So when you're looking at a loan, you can see how much less interest you pay if you go with a 15-year loan. Some people can't do that because they can't make that payment. You might want to think about buying a cheaper house then, right? So be careful. Any questions on this warm-up? So Danessa, I don't know if you heard, but it is compounded monthly then. Okay. So any questions on this warm-up? I know some of you weren't finished. All right. So this is a question from your worksheet from yesterday. So if you still have access to that worksheet from yesterday, you can access it, or you can just take new notes here. So Emily bought a car for $24,000 3 years ago. She financed the car and the loan had a 5-year term at 3% interest rate. Her monthly payment is $431.35. How much does she still owe on the car after 3 years? So this isn't something that I ask you on the test, but this is something that's on your more homework, okay? So the difference on this problem is you've already been making payments for 3 years, okay? You've been making payments for 3 years. So now you're trying to figure out how much you owe on this loan to see, has anyone ever been upside down in a car before? Not literally upside down, but yeah, you're usually upside down on a car as soon as you drive it off the lot, right? So if you buy a new car, your car depreciates very quickly, right? Especially a brand new car. So you might have been paying on a car for 2 years, and yet when you figure out how much your car is worth compared to how much you owe more than your car is worth. That's what it means to be upside down, just so you know. That's what it means. It means that you owe more than your car is worth. So if you're not upside down, that's a good thing, right? So I use the TVM solver for this. There's a video and more for this. It's the easiest way to get this number. And again, you're just trying to get through your more homework. You're not trying to do this on the test. So notice that for my TVM solver, I put in 36. Why would I put in 36? Any ideas on this problem where it was Emily bought a car 3 years ago?
Because she's had to pay it for 36 months.
Yeah, she's paid 36 payments. So, and she's at 3%. Her original loan was $24,000. Her payment is $431.25. So this is what I solved for, future value, because that tells me how much she still owes on the loan if she's been paying for 3 years. So she owes $10,033.37. And that's how much she still owes after 3 years of payment. So given that, it says, what's the car, if the car's value is now $15,000, how much equity does she have in the car? So in other words, she's not upside down. It could say, oh, too bad, your car is only worth $8,000, right? If her car is only worth $8,000 and she owes $10,000, she cannot sell that car, right? Because she still owes that money. So, but in this situation, she only owes $10,033.37, and her car is worth $15,000. So that's a good scenario, right? Yeah. So if you subtract those two values, you will get, she has equity of $4,966.63. Questions on that problem? There's a video attached to that homework problem on more. If you need help, again, it'll show you how to do it. Okay. So just a reminder, when we're calculating payments, we need to round up on loans, okay, no matter what it says. We're still going to be on these same formulas. I already gave you the handout. So we're going to work on this first problem because this is something new for you. I'm going to do 2 example problems, and then you guys are going to go in your breakout rooms and you're going to do a problem, and then you're going to present it to the class. I know, it's super fun. We got to practice presentations before we do our final presentation, right? I don't want that to be your first time you've presented in months, since we haven't presented in a while. So you purchased a home that cost $165,000, or that's how much your mortgage is. And it's 9%, which 9% is a horrible interest rate for right now. But 30 years ago, 9% was a normal interest rate, just so you know. So interest rates change a lot. Right now, they're really, really low. Does anyone know what interest rates are right now on 30-year loans? This is a 20-year loan, but on a 30-year loan?
I know for VA loans, they're like 2.25.
Yeah. So 3% for probably a non-VA loan, you know, about 3%, a little bit higher. So, but that's still incredibly low. It will not be this low for very long, just so you know. That mortgage rate is going to go up. So right now, it's a really hard time to buy a house because housing prices are so high, but interest rates are so low. So it's a weird scenario, right, that we're living in right now. Now is probably not the time to buy a house, right? Unless you find some screaming deal, which I don't think they're out there. So what's happening is people from California are coming over and buying houses, right? Because they're selling their house in California for 2 times what they can buy a house in Arizona for, okay, which drives our prices way up. But our interest rates are really low, not like this shows. So what I'm showing you right here is a little snippet of what's called an amortization table. Has anyone heard that? Yeah, an amortization table. That's what it's called. And Zevi, I'm amazed you found one. So I'm very excited that you did. So good job. So an amortization table is what they give you when you get a loan, especially for a house. And they give you this table and it shows all of your payments and then how much you owe on the principal balance of your mortgage throughout the length of your loan. And if you've ever bought a house before, your loan documents are about this fat, right? About this fat. They're really big. And in there is an amortization table, and it doesn't have 3 months. It has however long your loan is, right? So let's say it's a 30-year loan times 12 months. So you would have 360 little lines in your amortization table. It's crazy. And it's kind of depressing if you've ever looked at it, right? So I'll show you what I mean by it's depressing when you see this. So we're not going to do the whole amortization table. We're just going to do the first 3 months so you can see how it works. And this is on your finance test. You have to fill in 2 months of an amortization table on this test. Okay, so make sure you pay attention and you put a little star that says on test, right? Because this is on your test. So the first thing we're going to do is the principal balance on month 1. Well, that's how much our mortgage is. So our mortgage is $165,000. So that's where we're going to start. The other column that we can fill in really easily is the monthly payment. So if you're struggling when you're taking your quiz, make sure you fill in this column because you'll get some points for doing just this part. So the monthly payment is $1,484.55. And that's not going to change. You make the same payment every month. All right, so does everybody see how I filled it out so far? So I just put in the month 1 beginning balance and then all my payments. So now we have to do this part. So when you take out a loan, they start charging you interest right away, right? So you're gonna, to find the interest that they're charging you, it's principal times rate times time, just like simple interest was, but we're only doing it for this little month. So we're gonna do 165,000 times 0.09 because that's our interest rate. And we're gonna multiply it by 1 over 12. Any ideas why we would multiply it by 1 over 12? Tashina?
That's one payment out of 12.
Yep, it's 1 payment out of 12. So it's 1 month out of 12 months. So when you do that multiplication on your calculators, I just want to make sure you get the right answer because a lot of people get this wrong just because they're putting it in their calculator incorrectly. You should get $1,237.50. Everybody check that and make sure that's what you got. Okay, good. Anyone not getting that number? This is the number we're looking for, $1,237.50. Everybody okay? All right, good. Okay, so now here's the tricky part. Your ending principal, or the depressing part, depending on how you're looking at it, right? So your ending principal, that's how much you owe after you make your payment, okay? So you would like think, oh, well, I just take $165,000 minus my monthly payment. Nope, because they charged you interest. And look how much interest they charged you. They charged you $1,237.50 interest for 1 month. Yikes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that $165,000. You're going to add the interest they charged you because they're going to make you pay that. Then you can subtract off your payment of $1,484.55. And after you do that, that's really how much you owe after 1 month. So after 1 month, you still owe $164,752.95. So your $1,400 payment didn't all go to principal, right? a lot of it went to interest. Only like 250 bucks went towards your principal. Did you know that? It's a little depressing, right? Okay, so now to figure out month 2, you're going to take this value right here because that's our new balance. And we're going to put it right here in this table. So $164,752.95. Then we're going to do it all again for month 2. Okay, so we're going to do $164,752.95 times 0.09 times 1/12. And then you're going to figure out your ending balance and do it one more time for month 3. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to fill in this whole table. Okay, and then we'll compare answers. So after you get your whole table filled out, type in something about Star Wars in the chat. Okay, if you know nothing about Star Wars, you can just say Star Wars. But there's something you guys know about Star Wars. I had a fascinating trivia in my last class. So let's see how you do. Message me if you have any questions. Otherwise, fill in the whole table. All right, so that was 3 minutes. How many of you are done? All right, several of you are done. Okay, so let's take a look at my table compared to your table and see if you agree. So did you get $1,235.65 for the interest on the second one right here? So if you notice, that interest is a little bit lower than it was the month before. That's because our principal was a little bit lower than the month before. And then for month 3, you can see it's even a little bit lower because again, our principal is going down. So our ending principal on month 2 was $164,504.05. And then on month 3, it was $164,253.28. So you could see that we could keep going with this, right? All the way to, this was 20 years, so 20 times 12, 240 months. Doesn't sound fun, does it? But you could do it in a spreadsheet, right? And that's how they do it when they do it for your loan company. It's just pre-printed. They put in the numbers and then they print out this report for you. Okay. So that's how you do an amortization table. Nice. And you'll have some of these in your assignment. I love some of you, your things about Star Wars. Here's a fascinating bit of trivia. One of my students in my previous class said her uncle, they talked to Star Wars and they actually made it in Navajo. So they dubbed it in Navajo. So the elders in the Navajo community could watch Star Wars and understand it because they don't speak English. And I was fascinated by that. And so her uncle's obviously a star. And someone else she knew played Chewbacca. So her uncle played Darth Vader and someone else she knew played Chewbacca. And that's fascinating to me. And they've also done it to Finding Nemo. Did you guys know they put that in Navajo as well? Yeah. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see if Disney Plus has Navajo as an option on their subtitles. That would be fascinating to learn. I think that's amazing. My sister works for Johns Hopkins and travels to Chinle and the Four Corners area probably weekly. So that's awesome. So if I can't get it dubbed, you can buy a copy on the reservation, like in Window Rock or Chinle. So I'm going to have her do that for me. I think that's an amazing gift to have that preserved in Navajo. So amazing. All right. Anyone else have some Star Wars trivia they want to give me?
I have a really small one, and it's related to the musical.
Okay.
Beetlejuice had a musical really recent, and when they were performing it during the Tony Awards, Beetlejuice made a reference to Adam Driver and his role as Kylo Ren the whole thing. And it was really fun because during his Tony performance, he says, "Oh, he killed Kylo Ren. Not cool, dude." And it changes every single time depending on their performance.
That's awesome. That's super fun. I love that. Nice. All right. So good job on your amortization table. We have one more problem that I want to go over before I put you in your groups. And you'll recognize what's new about this problem. So it says the home you want to purchase is $300,000. To qualify for the mortgage, your lender wants you to put 20% as a down payment. That's not unusual, right? 20% as a down payment is not super unusual. So you need to know what that means and how that works. Your interest rate is 4% for 20 years, and you have to pay 3 points. What's new about this problem?
3 points.
Yeah, what does that mean? Pay 3 points. Has anyone heard of that before? Yeah, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. I don't ask you to do this on the test, but again, just for financial literacy, if you're looking you're looking at buying a house, you need to understand what it means if the bank says, well, you can buy points. And you're like, what? I don't know what that means. So what it means is it's interest rate. Okay, so you're buying down your interest rate. So if you buy 1 point, it's 1%. If you buy 2 points, it's 2%. So you can buy a quarter of a point, you can buy a half of a point, or you can buy a full point or whatever. And, you know, it charges you. So sometimes it's very worthwhile to buy a point or a part of a point if you can afford it to get your interest rate down. Sometimes it might not be worthwhile. Like if right now the interest rates are so low, most people are not buying points because at a 3% interest rate, you're like, whatever, I'm not going to buy a point. But when interest rates were much higher, like 7% or 9%, people did buy points. So then over the life of the loan, they're paying less interest. So for example, at 4%, if they bought 3 points, their original interest rate would have been 7%. That's a huge difference, right, in interest. So that's what points mean. And I have a little formula on how you do it. So we'll look at that in a second. First, let's do part A, and we'll get it ready in the chat. So how much money do you need for the down payment? If the house costs $300,000 and you're going to put 20% down. So get it ready in the chat. Don't hit enter yet. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's take a look. So $60,000. Where did $60,000 come from? You do 30,000 times 20%. So how much money do you need for the down payment? It's $60,000. Okay. And I think Brady gave us an answer to kind of the next part. What's your mortgage, right? How much are you financing? Yeah. So you have to be real careful when you take the test and make sure you answer the question that I'm asking, because otherwise it'll mark you wrong, right? So how much will your mortgage be? That's what Brady answered. You take your 300,000 and you subtract off your down payment because you're really only financing $240,000. Does everybody understand that? You okay? Okay, good. Now, this is the part that's new. How much will you have to pay for points? So here's the formula. Again, I don't make you do this on the test. This is just for your information and for homework. So you take your points, divide it by 100, and multiply it by your loan amount, which in this case is $240,000. Okay, and that should make sense. You're finding a percent here. That's what we're really doing. So calculate how much you would have to pay for points and get that ready in the chat. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. There you go, $7,200. So when you're deciding if you're going to pay points or not, you have to see, do you have that cash on hand? And then how much is that saving you in interest? It's going to save you a lot more than $7,200, just so you know. So if you have that much money, it would be good to put that down. So yep, $7,200. Now, I want you to calculate your monthly payment. You can use the formula or you can use the TVM. So calculate your monthly payment. Now you know what your loan amount is. It's $240,000. You know that it's 20 years at 4% interest. Okay, so calculate your monthly payment. Okay, does everybody have their monthly payment? So you finance $240,000 for 20 years at 4% interest, and it's compounded monthly. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm seeing some different answers. So on your TVM solver, what would you put for N?
240.
Yeah, 240. So N would be 240 because that's 20 times 12. I would be 4. PV would be $240,000. P would be, sorry, PMT, that's what we're solving for. FV, what do you put for FV?
0.
0. Very nice. You want your loan to be paid off at the end of 30 years or 20 years. That's what that means. And then PY and CY are both 12. Now, I see lots of answers that are $1,454.35. Brady, tell me why you put 36 cents.
Because you always have to round up to the nearest penny on a loan.
You always round up with loans, right? You break the rounding rules and you round up. Great job, Brady. Tashina said, dang it. So, yep, absolutely. So there you go. There's your TVM solver. Any questions on that? Because I didn't get answers from everyone. I know I might be going too fast for you. Is everybody okay now if you put it in your TVM or your formula now? Zach saying yeah, Lily saying yeah. Danessa better. Okay, good. All right. I think this is the last part of this. Oh no, 2 more. So by the end of the loan, what will the total of all your payments be? So take your $1,454.36, okay, and multiply it by how many payments you made. So you did 12 payments a year for 20 years. So how much did you actually pay in payments?
240? No.
Yeah, oh, you paid more than that, right? You
Yeah.
paid $349,046.40. Rookie, I think you were telling me the number of payments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, perfect. So it'd be $1,454.36 times 240 payments, or times 12 times 20. So think about that. The house that you bought, you only financed $240,000, and yet you paid $349,046.40 just in payments. That doesn't count the $60,000 you put down or the $7,200 you paid in points. Yeah, you paid a lot for this house, right? If you make all 20 years of payments. So the interest you paid, how would you figure out how much interest you paid on the loan? What would you do? We know you paid $349,046.40 in payments. How much did you finance? Anyone know how to figure out this last answer?
I think, I think that you would do 240,000 times 0.2, and that would give you 48,000. And then you add that to your total of 240,000.
No, be careful. We're just trying to figure out how much interest we paid. So we're going to subtract, like Rookie
Oh.
said in the chat, we're just going to subtract $349,046.40 minus the $240,000 that we financed. And the difference between those is how much we paid in interest. Does that make sense, Tashina?
Yes, sorry about that.
Okay. No, you're fine. All right. So we can ask lots and lots and lots and lots of questions on there, but that's why it's really important that you're going to show me all your work, because if you do part one wrong, all of yours are going to be wrong, right? But if you show me your work, as long as you're doing the math right with your wrong first answer, I'm going to be able to give you credit back, right? But if you don't show me your work, then I'm just going to say it must be all wrong. Okay, so make sure you show me all of your work. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a handout in the chat right now. I put you on Teams. You're going to do a problem in your team, and then you're going to present it to the class. I let you be with a team so then if you don't like to present, you can practice with someone, okay? So team one is going to do problem one, and team one, it'll be the same room you're in. Team one is Annie and Lily. Okay, Annie and Lily are team one. So you're going to do problem number one on the worksheet I just put in the chat. Team two is Ruki and Zevi. Okay, team two is Ruki and Zevi. Team three is Josh and Judith. Okay, team three is Josh and Judith. Team four is Danessa and Matt. Okay, Danessa and Matt, your problem number four. Team five is Tashina and Zach. Tashina and Zach are problem number five. And then team six is Brady and Lee. And you're doing problem number six. So you don't have to do the other problems on the worksheet. You just have to do the problem you're assigned. Okay? So I'm going to give you probably like 15 minutes to do that one problem. Organize your presentation. Decide who is going to talk first, who is going to read us the problem, explain to us what they did. I had some groups last class where one person used the TVM solver and the other partner used the formula. That's perfect. Each person showed how they did it. If you have a multi-part problem, you can split it up, right? You can say, okay, the first person will do A and B, the other person will do C and D, or however many parts you have, okay? So be prepared to share your screen so we can see your work, right? And you're practicing for the final. Call me in if you want to check your answers or whatever you need. somebody just got kicked out of the meeting, but I don't know who it was. Was it Danessa again? Poor Danessa. Okay, who's Danessa's partner? Matt? Danessa might be in and out. So, okay. So call me in when you need help. All right, I opened your room. I'm going to close rooms in about 15 minutes. I'll come by and check on you. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to start with group one, team one. So Annie and Lily are going to do number one. So one of you share your screen and then you can go. And everybody else is being a great audience. Go for it.
Okay, so for number one, we are finding present value. So me and Lily are used to the TVM solver, which we think it's easier for us. So for N, we plugged in 12 times 25 since it is monthly and it is 25 years, which gave us 300. Our interest is 8%, which is, we just plugged it in as 8. And then PV, we left it 0 because that's what we were finding. And then our payment is negative 1,500 since that's like the mortgage payment. And then FV is 0 since we don't want to owe anything. And then PYCY is 12 since it's 12 months. And then we plugged that in and we got 194,346 with 78 cents.
For part B, we're looking for the total of the money that we had to pay the loan company. And we multiplied 1,500 times 12 times 25, and it gave us a total of 45,000. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. 45, I'm not sure how to pronounce
450,000.
450,000 was the total. So yeah.
So then we wanted to know how much of that money was interest. So then we grabbed that 450,000 minus what we got in part 8, which is our 194,346 with 78 cents. And we got 255,653 with 22 cents. And that's how much basically was interest. And yeah.
Excellent, great job. Give them a hand clap or a party hat or something. Yes, very nice. Oh, we actually clap. I love that. Yeah. Okay, good job. Team 2, who is that? Who is on team 2? I don't know who is on team 2. Nobody. Somebody had to be on team 2. No, did I skip team 2? Weird. Team 3. Josh and Judith.
Hi, so Josh is gonna share his screen.
Yeah, give me 1 second. And I'm gonna do this. There you go. Cool. Okay, can you guys see everything?
So we were doing number 3. So we first wanted to figure out what the down payment was. So what we did was 200,000 times 10% is 20. 200,000 times, 10% of that is 20,000 for the down payment. So we subtracted 200,000 minus 20,000, which was $180,000, which is part A. So that's how we got that one for A.
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. So my part, I did B and C. So it'll be what will be your monthly payments if your interest rate is 5%. So I put N is 360 because 12 times, what was it? 12 times 30 is 360. I is 5%. PV is 180 because 180,000, not just 180. My bad. PMT is 0, FV is 0, and PY and CY is 12. And when you plug all those in and you solve for PMT, you get 966,028 cents. And it's 966.28. And then what would be your monthly payments if the interest rate is 6%? It's going to be 1,079.19 cents. N is 360, I is 6, PV is 180,000, PMT is 0, FV is 0, and then PY and CY are 12. You literally only change it like 1%. That's really it. So that's why the answers aren't that much different from each other.
Excellent. Good job. All right. Any questions for that group? Okay. So I'm not going to make us stay late. Would never do that. But we are going to finish these presentations at the start of class tomorrow. Okay. So don't be absent. If you're absent, your partner will be absolutely so depressed, right? That would be devastating. So we'll start there. I'm going to give you your exit ticket. I'm pretty sure everybody got the exit ticket correct. Can you see my screen? I don't know. It said it would start sharing and then it didn't. Hold on.
I saw the
There.
things on the way, Dad. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Now, we'll talk about your presentations more tomorrow and how we can make sure they're perfect for your final. Okay, this is just a quick practice so we're not super nervous. Okay, here is your exit ticket in the chat. All right, otherwise, great job today. You have a couple minutes to finish your exit ticket. If you have questions, let me know. And happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you.